Hey up YouTube, welcome back and welcome into 7 Days to Die, the beginner series. Today we are on episode 5 and we're going to be just finishing this series on the remainder of the benches. Now for this, I'm going to take us into a run that I was doing on YouTube. So we do have pretty much everything the game has to offer. This will give you a glimpse as to what's to come. The main reason for this, though, is for the workbench, the chemical station, and cement mixer as well, plus a couple of the other vehicles you can get. If you've liked this series, please let us know. If you could drop a like and let us know in the comments as well how you've got on. Have you used it at all? Have you gained any tips from it? Or did you just find it a heap of rubbish that and made your own way through it? Either way, I'll be quite happy to hear from you. But without further ado, let's jump in. Let's crack on with getting down to our base and seeing what we've got. Okay, well, we're in. So this is the little house that I've procured for this run. We actually built up in the loft space for this. We've got a little landing helipad on there as well, just for the gyro. We have the dew collectors up above and a few of the chests up here. But mainly here is the forge that we'd already covered. The workbench is the next one up. This is your main crafting. Without this one, a lot of the stuff, a whole heap of stuff, can't be done. Now, these are all split up. You can scroll through a lot of the stuff that you do have. But there are the little tabs here, so you can go for the resources, the ammo and the weapons, the tools, the science stuff, the mods, the clothing, and if you're making any seeds or whatever. There's also a decor and miscellaneous bit, so you can do things like the candle, destroyed stone, table lamps, grass, jack-o'-lanterns, ugly chairs, ugly couches, toilets, etc, etc, if you're into doing your base up. I don't have a lot of that sort of stuff scattered about, but you can make it as interesting your base as you possibly can or want to. But the main stuff that you'll be crafting on here, the weapons, the tools, and the mods, I would think, including the ammo, of course. The forge, first couple of bits you'll want are to finalise that are the bellows, the anvil, and the crucible. Crucible is level 75, so it takes a long time. It's about 15k in dukes if you're going to buy that from the trader. So it's more of a graft, is that. This one does allow you to create the steel, though. This allows you to craft forged steel. That's the only way you can craft it. You can buy it, of course, or you can harvest it from the likes of the gas pumps, from the passing gas. I think you can get it from some lampposts, but only certain ones, and you can obviously find it in the loot as well. The bellows and the anvil, now this is entirely up to you. They're not too bad for the, I think it's level 20 for the bellows and not much after for the anvil when you're collecting the books. However, they're not that expensive. I think the anvil's like 720 and the bellows are like 1100 from the trader. So it's worth, if you've got anything spare, if you're not buying the books, maybe just buy those and not have to worry. It increases smelting speed, and it does increase crafting speed as well, which of course are massively needed. It is quite slow other than that. So leave that one up to you. That is entirely your choice. The workbench. So slowly you will start to unlock a lot of these ammos. You see, I still haven't, I don't know what level we're on. What day are we in? Day 72, and there's still a lot of stuff that isn't unlocked here. A lot of it is finding and reading the correct books to get these unlocked. So the bow books, for instance, I'm 22 out of 36. I tend not to buy the bows, which is why, and you don't find them that often, which is probably why we don't have a great deal of that type of thing. I mainly concentrate on getting the forges, then the vehicles, the ammo, the sorry, not the ammo, the armor, that type of thing, for me, for leveling up, getting the stuff in. The mods as well. The mods, you can find the schematics all the way around. I think most of the mods are schematic based, so you can buy them occasionally from a trader, but the majority of them are found, and they range from the armor pocket mods. You've got a double, triple and a quad for that. You've got the bandolier, which I find reasonably regularly, so it's a good one to have, is the bandolier. It does speed up your reload time, but it only goes into the main outfit for that. So I'm level 6 on these, so you'll notice we've got 4 slots for these. I carry the triples. I think we can make the quads, but triples is normally enough when you've got your skill level up in the pack mule area. The armor stuff is all unlocked. I don't know where we are for that. Level 6 on that stuff. The mods, you can go through all of these as you unlock them, or even before you unlock them. They do give a little bit of information. You just obviously can't craft them. The science stuff covers the truck, the bikes. You may have already used this one if you've got a workbench down to craft the bicycle. There's also the minibike, the gyrocopter, and the 4x4 as well. The tools area covers all of your tools, and what else is there in there? It's just purely tools. So we start off with the wrench, which is okay. It works. It's in keeping with your level of the character. We then go to ratchet. These are all for the harvesting, of course, taking down cars and other bits like the fridges and the cookers, enable to get some parts for that. You'll also be able to do the nail gun, the chainsaw eventually, the auger. The auger and the chainsaw, very good tools. Obviously requires gas for those, but you can also get a mod to increase fuel tank capacities on those, as well as being able to use your mods that you've got from the other ones so they don't wear down as quickly, etc. The impact driver is the top of the range for the harvesting. It's absolutely brilliant. Level 6 is crazy fast. I've only got a 5 in this one, but the 6 is 6 really is amazing. So that is your tools tab. Your ammo and weapons tab. Now you'll slowly unlock a lot of the ammo in here. There's not a great deal. You've got your 9mm, you've got your 7.62, and you've got your .44. You've also got variations. So you've got your armor piercing, your AP, and your high power ammo as well. They do take a little bit more when you're crafting those to be able to do. If you compare them from 7.62, it's 1, 3, and 1. That's your standard. Your armor piercing is 2, 5, and 1. And then you've got your high powered as well. If I can find it, there we go. Not that one, because there it is. So it's 2, 3, and 1. So they do vary in how much gunpowder and bullet tips you use. And again, entirely up to you how you play that. I really only use it if I find it. I don't tend to craft it. The stuff that I craft is the 44 Magnum for the Desert Vulture. Now, if you're lucky enough to find one of these things, I tell you, give it a whirl. It is absolutely insane, this thing. Proper good for one tapping. A lot of the zombs. If you if you check out some of the mods that you can do as well, I do suggest the laser sight. It does help with the aim. The extended magazine as well, obvious reasons, adds a little bit more in there because capacity is low to start with. And as you progress, the rad remover mod. Now, rad remover, when you come across the radiated zombies, they do recover their own health as if you stop shooting them. So having this rad remover, all it does is stop them self-healing for 90 seconds, I think it is. So definitely worth thinking about when you... There you go. Will disable the regeneration ability of radiated zombies for 90 seconds, sorry. So it is worth thinking about when you slowly move up. Sniper, I was lucky enough to find this one. This one is a really good gun. I don't use it a lot, but it is very much worth hanging on to, especially if you're running low on food, bears, that type of thing. When you're in the wastelands, definitely worth it. It's quite high powered, not very quick, although it is quicker than your hunting rifles and your lever actions, but worth having nonetheless even. I'll try and speak English. The M60 is pretty essential when you start going into some of the late tier 5s, but definitely into the tier 6s. Tier 5s you can normally handle SMG and maybe attack assault or something, or one of the fast shotguns. But the M60, when you're swamped with 40, 50, 60 zombies all releasing at once, many of them radiated, certainly the gun to go for. This one again is pretty insane. It eats through ammo like there's no tomorrow. You can go with 600 and think you're perfectly fine. You'll take out one room and you'll have 4 7.62 left. It is a crazy gun, but absolutely brilliant. Sounds amazing when you've got a silencer on it as well. The SMG, crazy loud. Sounds again absolutely brilliant. Sounds more like a laser gun when you have a silencer on it. But another top-notch close-range weapon. So all of these are craftable on the workbench. What else have we got in here? You can do all your bows if you've gone down that line. You can do your spears as well. And you've also got your bombs and your accessories. So the robotic turrets to fire ammo, the sledges as well, which basically punch the zombies. But it is worth having. You can do your stun batons, your spears, not the stone spear, you'll already had that. But there is a steel spear in there as well. And there's also some axes. So all the weapons and ammo will slowly unlock depending on how you play, how long you play for. The resources tend to cover things like the coal, so you can make big stacks of coal. And you can do your cloth fragments here, which are slightly cheaper. You can do it from plant fibers as well later on. You can also, what else is there in here? That's pretty much it in the armor crafting kits, which I think you have to come here to do them. I don't know if you can do them without the workbench, actually. Maybe you can, it would make sense. Yeah, you can. You don't need the workbench for those. And then the other bits as well, some of which we will have covered, including the bedroll, the building blocks. You'd have already probably used those, the campfires. And you can also come here to make the cement mixer and the chemistry station as well. Now, the chemistry station isn't cheap, so if you do find acid, then keep hold of it. Definitely keep hold of the acid because it's hard to get hold of. One of the best things is if you happen to have found the wastelands, which I think if you're looking at the chemistry station crafting you probably have done, then harvesting the cars in the wastelands will give you a better chance of the acid than it will in the other biomes. So that is effectively the workbench. That is level 10. So you've got your dew collector at 3, you've got this at 5, the forge. and then you've got the workbench. Next up is the cement mixer. Cement mixer, to be fair, it is needed, but doesn't do a great deal of stuff. So don't be disappointed that it doesn't unlock some wacky stuff. Probably concrete mix will be the biggest thing you will use. So when you're leveling up your base, if you, at minimum, you really want to start leveling your base up. Just for a little bit of protection in case a wandering horde comes through. As you get later on in the game, it will there will be more and more. So you start off with a standard building block. Those are the ones that can be picked up and moved. That garage door is driving me insane. You start... What the hell? I'm going to go and dismantle it. It's really annoying. I'll wait till it goes up. I was going to say, it's probably going to go down again. Now I can't get back into my base. So it starts off with a building block, then you go to wood, then you go to cobblestone. This is this sort of stuff. This is the cobblestone one. Then you go to concrete, and then you go to steel after that. Concrete is pretty damn good, though. You are 5,000 on that, and I think you're 7.5 or 10,000 HP on the... that won't turn on. Can't get back in the base. Have we got any wood on me? Oh no, I don't have any wood either. We'll go up on the roof. Let's just grab a little bit of this.
A few moments later.
There we go. We're in. Okay. There are a couple of other bits in there that you can do. You can make the crushed sand in there if you have the small stone on you. Normally I'd do that in the forge though. You can make gravel blocks as well and some stone blocks. So concrete is basically your main thing for this. When you've grafted a little bit more, you will end up with the chemistry station. Now you can't find these, but it is tier 75 on the workbenches. Hard work getting it. I think, is it 75 or is it 50? Let me just have a quick look at that. Workbench, workstations, chemistry, yeah, 75 for the crucible, and then chemistry stations probably a little bit less, I can't remember, 50 maybe. Once you get that the chemistry station is effectively a cheaper way of making things. So there are a few extras that you can only make on the chemistry station as well. But if we look for gunpowder here, when you first start it off, there we go. It's 2 and 2, and then when you come to the chemistry station, it does show the little symbol here. Means you've got to do it on the chemistry station. It is 1 and 1. That doesn't sound a lot, but when you've harvested 5,000 coal and 5,000 nitrate, you get 5,000 gunpowder. Whereas if you do it on the workbench, you get 2.5 grand. So it is definitely a great level up. You can start making the gas cans. Glue we can already make anyway. You can make the lead batteries should you need to. You find a lot of those. I tend to find you do. So probably not something to overly worry about. Oil, paint we can already do. Paper we can do as well now with this. And then you can do a couple of the stack of gas cans. A stack of gas cans and a stack of gunpowder, which just means that you get them cheaper. It does cost you less to be able to make. The other thing that you need the chemistry station for is you can make antibiotics, beer, the first aid kit, and I think herbal we can already make anyway. Plasticast, maybe the steroids is chemistry station only. But that's that's pretty much it. So in terms of abilities and what you can craft, the workbench is the key one at 10 forged books. So keep an eye out for those. If you want a quick route, it's, as I mentioned before, search the traders. Search the broken stuff at the traders. So there'll be a broken workbench, there will be a chemistry station, there will be a forge, and there will be a cement mixer. Search those. Jen, when you first get there, will probably, fingers crossed, give you 2, maybe 3 if you're lucky. The ones at Trader Rect, 1 or 2. So potentially you have 5 there. You're halfway to the bench. If you can find a couple of the building sites and search the workbench and the cement mixer and stuff there, you'll have a good opportunity to get those. So realistically, if you're prepared to run around a bit, you can get them quite reasonably quickly. But once you get them, that is one weight off your mind. Transport, we'll cover the transport as well. I'm going to move right away from here. So I don't actually have the mini bike, unfortunately, which is a bit of a shame. No, and what have we got in here? No. So you start off with the push bike, which hopefully you'll have got. 2 ways to get that. You can craft it once you've got the bench, or if you do a good amount of quests from Trader Rect, when he then offers you Gen, it will already give you the bike. So it is a thing to remember. If you don't have the bench, you will get a bike anyway. Well, pretty much get a bike from Rect when he offers you opening up trade routes. So that is one way to get it, and you don't have to worry so much about trying to get it. The next mode of transport is the mini bike, which I kind of like. It's a good little off-road bike. It doesn't go particularly fast. Definitely faster than the bike, definitely faster than walking, and doesn't use a great deal of fuel either, which is a bit of a bonus. So a really good starter bike there. The next one up is the motorbike. Now, I think these look pretty cool. They are quick and damage-wise reasonable. When you go through the wastelands at high speed, and if you keep hitting things, it will damage it, so you do need to keep an eye on that. But in terms of maneuverability and stuff, the bike is pretty good fun. A lot quicker than the mini bike as well. So it's definitely something to look forward to. There is a supercharger mod in here as well, which I've never managed to find. A couple of friends of mine, Jamru12, who also plays this, he keeps finding it. Like, you know, I'd find rotten flesh or something. I don't know why I picked rotten flesh. But you know what I mean. He finds them all. Well, not all the time, but he's definitely found a few. And I'm really struggling. It is a schematic that you need for that. Now the supercharger does what it says on the tin. It just makes it go faster. There are mods for these, of course. What have I got in here at the moment? Just that. So it is the fuel saver mod. There is an extra tank mod, so there's an overflow mod for that as well. So when your main tank's drained, you have a tiny little bit to stop you running out. I've never actually got into that area, so I wouldn't know how long it lasts. But it'll probably certainly get you back to the base, maybe. Depending on how far you're out. So again, it's something to look at getting. There is also a armor style mod as well, which is a cow catch that can go on these. Again, it will clear the path for you. Hitting zombies does take its toll after a while. You will need to repair your bike, so you do have to be a little bit careful with that. Space wise, we've got, I don't know actually how many, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 9 4s, 54, that isn't it? So we have the 54 slots in there. No, 36, sorry, my apologies. 36. The next one you will find, this is 375 steel. I'm not going to lie, I'm not a huge fan of this. It's all right. It looks okay. It looks good. When you jump into it, listen to that. It sounds awesome. But this thing takes damage like there's no tomorrow. It's worse than for me personally, it's worse than the minibike. and the minibike takes less damage. This thing is not my thing. I was so excited when I first got it. And having used it a bit, I parked it up and it sat here forever, and I've gone back to the bike. The V8 rumble disappears. Get ready for the disappointment. And it's not any quicker. It's not any quicker than the motorbike. So this is effectively it. Running over things, it is a monster truck. It's for show. It's not what I would class as particularly usable. One of the nice things though, if you're not bothered about going off-road, which is the ironic thing about this truck, if you're going to stick to the roads and be all sensible, then the storage on it is absolutely incredible. It is massive. So if you're shifting base, for instance, or you've looted a whole town and put loads of crates down and you need to go and pick the whole lot up, then this is your vehicle. This is the one. You can get so much stuff in here. It is ludicrous. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're on 81 slots in that. I think it's the biggest. For that one. Eats fuel like there's no tomorrow. But again, you can put your fuel saver mod in there. Yeah, you put your fuel savers. It has a lot of slots in here. You can put your armor on and that type of thing. All the vehicles as well come with locks, so you can lock it if you're in PvP or you're multiplayer and don't want people to use it. Then you can also lock everything. And then finally, one of the most exciting ones, I kind of think, it's not overly quick, which is why I'm desperate to find the supercharger mod. It's not overly quick, but it is quite a nice one once you get used to flying it. If you've played Rust, it is, for me, it is way easier than trying to fly a Mini in Rust. Flying this one is so much easier. So, usual keys just to get it started. It is not a helicopter, so don't expect this thing to hover. It is purely a gyrocopter. You need to be going forwards for this. You steer, you kind of look around left and right with your mouse. Spacebar puts the nose up a little bit, and then your standard keys for going forward. Coming into land, this is basically what you do. You kind of slowly cut the engine up, put a little bit of power on, depend on where you want to land, and then slowly come down without hitting anything. If you want to hit a bit more of a marker spot, you can always just spin it round and then drop down. Trying to land on your back wheels first, which is space, and that one will land quite nicely without causing any more damage. Space wise, it's about the same as the motorbike. One extra slot, I think, for that. So it's still got a good amount of space and can get you over places if you're in an area with mountains and stuff and you don't want to go the long way around taking the bike or the 4x4, then you can just fly over with these. Has its own lights and stuff, so definitely one for the to look forward to with crafting. If I ever find the supercharger mod, I will do an update on that, because it is something that I really want to try out. Other than that, I think pretty much we have done the beginner series. I'm not going to walk you through absolutely everything. A, it will be boring for you, and B, there doesn't seem to be much point. I think a lot of it is self-explanatory, and it's fun finding out for yourself as well. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the beginner series. So we've gone through getting started and the quests. We've gone through the skills, gone through the forge, the workbench, the chemical station, and the cement mixer. The rest is kind of down to you. I very much wish you luck. I hope you enjoy the game. If you have any questions, please just put them in the comments. I will get around to answering them if anybody's asked. So enjoy yourselves. I will do the lives on YouTube of the game anyway. So feel free to pop into the live and ask questions there as well. But for now, I will leave you in the capable hands of 7 Days to Die. Take it easy. Thank you for watching if you have done. Please drop us a like if you've liked it and leave a comment. Otherwise, we'll see you on the next whatever it happens to be that we are doing. So appreciate it. Take care. See you later. Goodbye.